that was a lot to say. Hi everyone, welcome back to Cravings Food Adventures. Today I'm taking you way back to my childhood to make a delicious chicken Frankie. Just saying it makes my mouth water. When I was living in Bombay, now known as Mumbai, I would always go to the street vendor and get this chicken Frankie. It's basically a roti that's slathered in egg, and a chicken filling is encased in this roti, and it's studded with chaat masala, and it's super delicious. Now today, Frankie stalls are available all over India. And today you can get anything from a Chinese chicken filling to a vegetarian filling. But I really favor the original chicken Frankie recipe. So today we're going to replicate that. I'm going to cook the chicken, and I'm also going to cook the roti, and then I'm going to make some condiments, some onion and some green chutney. We're going to put it together and it's going to be delicious. Now before I go any further with the recipe, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. I upload new videos every week, so make sure that you're subscribed. Also ring the bell, that's YouTube's new bell icon. That will notify you every time I upload a new video. Now let's get started. Let's start with 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, and I'm just going to add about a half cup of all-purpose flour to this. Now traditionally, they just use maida or all-purpose flour, but I'd like to make this a little bit healthier. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/4 cup of oil. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. I also have a half cup of warm water, and I'm only going to add as much as I need. Be sure to scrape in between, as using a food processor is great, but the bottom always has little bits that are not mixed. I really do want to knead this by hand, as it's the best way to get a feel for the dough, but I'm going to allow my food processor to do at least half the work, and then I'm going to knead it by hand. Now as you can see, there's still a lot of dry flour left. I'm slowly going to add more water, and I'm going to knead it till the dough feels soft and supple. If you find that the dough gets too soft, just add a little bit more flour. Kneading it by hand is really the best way, as you really get a good feel for the consistency. Once the dough is nice, smooth and supple, I'm just going to cover it in cling wrap, and I'm going to leave it aside for at least half an hour. Now Frankie is always topped with onions, chutney and fresh coriander. To take the sharpness out of my onion, I'm going to squeeze some lime juice over it. I'm going to add some salt, mix well, and I'm just going to leave this aside. If you prefer, you can use an onion as is, but I like to do this as it really takes the edge off the onion. Now let's prepare the filling. Like I mentioned earlier, there are so many fillings that are offered in a Frankie stall today, but I am partial to the original recipe. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of oil to my saute pan, and I'm just going to let this heat up. Add 2 cups of finely diced onions, and I'm going to allow this to sweat and then caramelize. This is finally looking somewhat brown, so I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of green chili and 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste. Now I make my own ginger and garlic paste fresh and very quickly by simply grinding equal quantities of ginger and garlic together with some lemon or lime juice together. I'm just going to cook off the raw flavor of this ginger and garlic. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon each of cumin and coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and a half teaspoon of turmeric powder, also known as haldi. Next, I'm going to add the star of the show, 1 teaspoon of pav bhaji masala. Now you can find this masala at any Indian store or any store that carries ethnic products. But I'm going to throw up the link for my own pav bhaji masala blend that I make myself at home. I'm going to throw that link at the end of this video as well as in the description. I'm going to add 2 cups of fresh and ripe tomatoes that I've diced, as well as 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to mix this together, cover it and allow it to cook. I want my tomatoes to get really nice and mushy. This is looking really good, and I'm just going to take everything out of my saute pan to make some room for the chicken that I'm going to saute. I have 2 chicken breasts here. This is about 2 pounds, and I'm going to dice this into small cubes. Add a little bit more oil to the same saute pan and add in the chicken. Give it a stir and allow it to cook. Add all of that delicious masala back in and allow it to cook with the chicken, transferring that amazing flavor. I'm also going to add chaat masala. Now this is used in most street food preparations. It gives everything that sweet, salty, sour taste that we know and love. You can find chaat masala at any Indian grocery store or any store that will carry ethnic products as well. Add salt to taste and cook this till the gravy thickens. And finally, I'm going to finish it off with some chopped coriander. Next, I'm going to make a really quick and easy chutney that I'm going to use in this recipe. I'm just going to throw in 1 teaspoon of chili into my food processor, and I'm going to follow that with 1 cup of coriander leaves. I'm also going to add the juice of half a lime and 1 teaspoon of chaat masala and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to process everything together till I get a nice smooth paste. I'm going to now take my rested dough and divide it in half, and then each half I'm going to divide it. This is good for 6 rotis. Keep the rest of these covered so they don't dry out. I'm going to dust the surface with some flour and I'm going to roll out my first roti. I have some softened butter here and I'm just going to spread this on top of the roti, and then I'm going to roll it into a coil and roll the roti out again. Now adding this butter is just an optional step. It's going to give you layers of butteriness, but if you prefer not to add any butter, you can just skip this step completely. Roll the roti into a nice round and repeat the process with the rest of the 5 rotis. Now it's time to cook these. I have a tawa heating up. This is similar to a frying pan and it has low sides, but you can use a frying pan instead. While the rolled rotis have been sitting, they're going to contract because of the gluten. So I'm just going to give it a quick little re-roll before adding this to the hot tawa. I'm also going to beat an egg. Now an egg is a big part of the Frankie. This first roti is going to take the longest to cook because it hasn't quite reached temperature, but you're going to see little bubbles form, and when you see these, flip this over. I'm going to pour a little bit of that beaten egg and brush to cover. Flip over to cook the egg. Now this looks like it needs a bit more color, so I'm going to flip it over one more time. Add some chaat masala. The second roti is going to work a lot better. This is going to go on. I'm going to cook one side, look for bubbles, flip it over, add the egg, and I'm also going to add some chaat masala. And I'm going to flip it over to cook, and I'm going to complete and repeat this process till all of my 6 rotis are done. Now it's time to assemble my chicken Frankie. I'm going to take a roti, add it on top of a piece of foil, and I'm going to add some of that delicious chicken filling. I'm going to add some more chaat masala. Chaat masala is such an important part of Bombay or Mumbai street food. I'm going to then add some chutney, little dollops of that chutney. It's going to give an amazing burst of flavor. And those onions, remember I've taken all of the bite out of the onions. All that's left is incredible flavor. I'm also going to add some fresh coriander, and I'm going to roll this, and this is ready to eat. Thank you so much for joining me on Cravings Food Adventures. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe for chicken Frankie. It's truly delicious. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, guys. I upload so many videos every week, so make sure that you're subscribed so you're the first to see it. Also, share my channel and my videos with your family and friends. I hope to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm really close, so please help me get there. Also, ring the bell. That's YouTube's new bell icon. That will notify you every time I upload a new video. And the fun doesn't stop there. Make sure you're following me on all of my social channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Till I see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye.